What's up? Ladies and gentlemen of YouTube, Boogie2988 coming at you live as I get through the power of the internet. And I just wanted to film a rambling video today and just publish it for the world because I got some stuff I want to get off of this chest. And it's not just my man tits. Hope you guys are doing all right. This is probably going to be a true rambling video because I got a lot of stuff to say and just stuff I want to get out of the way. We'll start with the good news first. So for those of you who know, my wife has been out of town again a little bit this month. She's due back later in the week. But I am pleasantly surprised by how everything has turned out. So for those of you who don't know, prior to the surgery, even just 30 days before the surgery, I was not able to do much of anything. I couldn't stand for more than about 30 seconds at a time. If I had to walk across the house, I would get out of breath. I was excruciating. I would get dizzy. I would almost pass out. I couldn't pick stuff up out of the floor. I couldn't take the dog outside. I couldn't do anything, much less housework. I could barely take care of myself. It was a miracle I was able to even do my job, which is a fairly easy job to do, here with YouTube and Twitch and stuff like that. And since my wife has been gone, of course, I've been in charge of the house and the dog and myself. And it's amazing because I really have enjoyed the challenge. I have really enjoyed doing the housework and, doing laundry and putting stuff together and moving stuff and processing different stuff and taking the dog outside and even taking him for short walks and taking care of myself. That's the biggest thing, I think. One of the things that really sucked for my wife is that for the last year or two, she has really been stuck in a caretaker role where she had to do a lot of the things that I could not do for myself, as well as taking care of the house and that kind of thing, which that part she loves. And of course she loves me, so to some extent, I'm sure she loved helping out. But at the end of the day, she's now in a position where she doesn't have to worry about that anymore, and it's pretty great. It really helps my self-esteem. It really does. And so these last couple of weeks, I thought it was going to be very stressful, and it has in some ways. I thought it was going to be excruciating and terrifying. But for the most part, it's been rewarding because I'm at a point where I can do this stuff. And so if I need to move furniture, I've moved furniture. If I needed to clean, I could clean. If I needed to take care of myself in some way, I could easily do it without supervision or without any help. It's pretty cool. That's the difference 120 pounds makes. And, I'm still losing weight and still watching that scale drop. Actually bought a new scale because it's a little, hope it was going to be a little more accurate, and it seems to be right in line with my doctor's scale. So I have a better idea of how I weigh. Now, that said, even though that part of my life has not been stressful, the last 48 hours have been stressful. And it's all tied into the video I made yesterday. And if you didn't see it, don't worry about it. But I have a lot of friends in the Magic the Gathering community. And there's some drama going on there, some really important drama that's gone all the way to the top. Even Wizards of the Coast, I think, is probably some point today or yesterday, depending on when I upload this, is going to officially talk about it. So it's pretty crazy stuff. But you don't really need to know the details of that. If you want to, you can watch the previous video. Here's what you do need to know. I spent a lot of time on the phone with reporters in the last 48 hours. I spent a lot of time on the phone with Magic the Gathering community creators and even people who play Magic and trying to understand the situation and explain the situation and give advice and stuff like that. And that has been very stressful. And then I did make a video about it, and I used my usual approach, which I think the majority of people who are going to see this video enjoy and appreciate my approach. And we'll talk about that a little bit. That's primarily what I want to talk about today. But not everybody gets that approach. And unfortunately, a good number of people in the Magic community did not understand my approach there. In that video, I condemn cyberbullying, and I condemn the people that do it. But in that video, as per my usual approach, I took a pragmatic, diplomatic approach that would look at the other side's arguments. And even though I disagree with their arguments, I would present their arguments and then try to deconstruct them and try to say that even though you feel that way, even though some people feel that way, here's why I don't. Right? And one of the things I always try to do with my videos is I never try to lead anybody by the nose. I'm not here to tell you how you feel. At best, I'm here to tell you how I feel. But even then, sometimes I will tell you how other people feel. This is how this group feels. This is how that group feels. This is how these people feel on one side, and this is how these people feel on the other. And this is why I ended up here where I am, either leaning this way or leaning that way. That's not a very common thing anymore. People just tell you how to feel. People just tell you. My goal is to always present you with evidence and arguments And I trust that you, as a thinking, rational person, will come up with a fairly similar solution or answer that I did, because I, too, am a rational thinking person. And I think because you're subscribed to this channel, because you're watching my rambling video, I think that's something that you not only understand but appreciate. Unfortunately, a lot of people who are on the extremes of things have difficulty understanding that, because something that's closer to the middle seems extremes to extremists. So someone who's extremely left or extremely right, if you take a topic in the middle and present both sides of it, you're presenting something that they're not going to like. Someone on the far left says, I can't believe you're supporting people on the right. The people on the far right say, I can't believe you're cucking yourself for the people on the left. And then they get very, very upset with me. They get very, very angry with me. And they never even see the message that I'm trying to deliver, which yesterday's message was very simple. Cyberbullying is bad. I condemn cyberbullying. I condemn the people that do it. Even if you give the people that do it the benefit of the doubt and explain why they do it, it is still harmful to do, so you shouldn't do it. And I think anybody who watched that video, 98% of you clearly got that message. Some of you critiqued the way that I delivered that message, which is fine. I'm always welcoming to criticism. I'm always open to be criticized. I criticize for a living. Ask the folks at EA. I criticize for a living. So certainly I'm open to criticism and I'm welcome to it. Some of you got resorting to like the name calling and, oh, I can't believe this centrist fat fuck. Oh, come on. What a centrist ass. Come on. I'm not even centrist. And when I am talking about the center, I'm not doing it for the center's sake. I'm talking about it because that's how I feel. The reason I do this stuff, one of the things I get so accused of is Boogie, you're just doing this to try to please both sides. Well, that's a stupid thing to do because it doesn't please either side. It only pleases the people who feel moderately like I do, which is a very small number of people these days, because most people have their convictions and stick to them like guns, man. They do not, I only believe this thing and I will not consider another ideal. And anybody that tries to make me is a demon, And here's the thing. I will be honest. Again, let's show the other side of that. I don't know why, because it's going to piss people off. But there are some people, let's say somebody who's marginalized in today's society. That person has every reason to feel that way. And I understand and I forgive that. And that's okay. They're dealing with a lot of insane shit and insane pressure in their lives that I can't even comprehend or understand. So you get a pass. I understand. I just hope you know it's so hard to deal with. I just hope you know it's so difficult for me to handle. And I feel so guilty and so crappy, even though I know that I'm doing what's right for me and often very right for my audience. But before I go any further in explaining why I do the way that I do it, let me go ahead and say thank you to those of you who listen to my arguments, even if you vastly disagree with them. Thank you for appreciating the structure of the shows and the videos that I create. Thank you for appreciating me as a person and the way that I structure my arguments and the way that I do these things. Thank you. And that's the mass majority of you. Certainly, if you've subscribed to this channel, you're probably someone who at least listens to me talk about both sides. Maybe you even appreciate it. Thank you. I didn't make a Thanksgiving video saying what I'm thankful for. Well, right now, it's that. More than anything, thank you for letting me be the person that I want to be and the person I feel like I have to be and rewarding me for that. Thank you. Okay? That said, what I'm always trying to do with these videos is to show both sides of a thing and then expect my audience to come up with an answer on their own. And because I'm a rational thinking person and I arrived at a certain point, I expect you to arrive at a fairly similar point because you too are a rational thinking person. And I also like to show both sides of a thing, not because I agree with the other people's ideas. Sometimes when I show a counter argument, I think the counter argument is absurd. I think the idea that cyberbullying, for example, is entirely harmless and that everyone should just rise above it is an absurd concept. I believe that it is harmless to some, but for the mass majority of people, it is pretty difficult to deal with. And I have thousands of case studies and anecdotal evidence to say that is true, okay? Tons of people have confided in me about this stuff, But I will present that argument for the purposes of deconstructing it. And so say for yesterday's video, the example that I'm trying to use is, even if you give the person the benefit of the doubt, and even if you say that what they're being accused of is being blasted completely out of proportion, if you just look at the smaller points, if you give them every benefit of the doubt, what they're doing is still harmful in some ways, and that's why you should find a better way to do it. That's it. That's the whole argument. And obviously 99%, I think the like ratio on that video is 5,000 likes to 1 dislike or something absurd like that, or 500 likes to 1 dislike at least. So, I mean, that's like 600 dislikes. So clearly the large number of you understand my point. But it's never to, perfect example. I made a video talking about JonTron. And in that video, I said I vehemently disagree with what JonTron said. I feel what he has said is stupid and wrong and just not even logically sound. However, I do believe that John made a huge mistake here in saying that stuff, and I believe that he is redeemable, and I believe that given the chance, he will redeem himself. Why are you racist, Boogie? Why do you support white nationalists? I don't. That's not what I'm doing here. This guy believes that cyberbullying is okay, and that's why he gets up to it. And sometimes he can be a nice person, but he chooses not to be. And when he chooses not to be, I think he's a jerk. And you probably think he's a jerk too, because it's a shitty thing to do. Why do you condone cyberbullies? Why do you defend cyber? I'm not. It's exhausting. It's exhausting. And I don't, since it's not the mass majority of you, it's obviously I still have an audience. Obviously, I still have people who appreciate the message, and I'm so grateful for that. But those people on the extreme tend to be very upset and very loud. And again, many of them have reasons to be. Many of them have reasons to be because they're facing a lot of daily challenges. Often they are marginalized. Often they have a lot of reasons to feel that way. I wish those people didn't see me as an enemy as much as I can be an ally, which is what I want to be and which is what I'm trying to be. And I'll tell you, the reason I know what I do works is because I have talked to people in real life, and I've gotten emails, and I've seen comments of people saying, plenty of people saying, I disagree with this, and I can't believe you would show both sides of the thing, and I can't believe you're giving any credence to what those morons think, and they should die in a fire, and plenty of that. But a lot of people who will say, I never considered it that way. That's an interesting point. Maybe I'll rethink my plan. Maybe I'll think about what I'm doing differently, which is what yesterday's video was designed to do. You can make another video crapping all over the people involved in this stuff, and plenty of people are. I wouldn't even be adding anything to the conversation if I just made one of those videos, just like me, making everybody feel good. And that's fine by vindicating the mass majority of people that feel that one way. My video is designed to talk to the people who feel the other way and show them why we, as a community, have arrived at what we have arrived at. And it's also to condemn stuff like cyberbullying, the cyberbully. Two wrongs don't make a right. I do still feel that way. I know people disagree with that. I feel that way. There's where my personal opinion comes. There's where I'm one-sided. I don't think it's okay to attack somebody just because they attacked you. I think it's a good idea to criticize that person. I think it's a good idea to take that person apart. I think it's a good idea to not watch that person's stuff anymore and encourage other people not to watch it. I think all of that's fine. What I don't think is fine is the name calling. What I don't think is fine is the personal attacks. I mean, in some cases they deserve it though, but I'll still choose not to do it. And that answer is pretty simple. I think the reason I'm broken in this way, and I do think it is broken. I don't think it is wrong to stand for what you believe in. I don't think it's bad to stand in what you believe in. Somebody said, South Park makes it look stupid to ever believe in anything. I don't feel that way. I think if you stand for something, I'm standing for something here. I'm standing for my personal beliefs, which is to consider every ideal before arriving at one. That's my personal belief. So I'm standing for something. I think it is great to stand for something you believe in. I think it's great to fight for something you care about. I do not think that's wrong at all. I think it can be done without the name calling. I think it can be done without the personal attacks and death threats and doxing and all of that stuff. Two wrongs never make a right. There should have never been a wrong to begin with. I wholeheartedly agree there. But, I guess the belief is they deserve it. But the problem is the people who generally do the initial attacks, they think the people they're attacking deserve it too. And so where does that cycle in? when we tear ourselves apart as a country, when we tear ourselves apart as a nation, when we start killing each other in the streets, where does that cycle end? I don't know, but probably not anywhere good. I think my approach is more constructive, and that's why I choose to do it. And I think it has a good chance of changing people who are even embedded to the point of zealotry. It has an opportunity to get them to rethink their strategies, maybe even for just a second. Calling them shitheads, calling them pieces of crap, attacking them, calling them every name in the book, never changes a mind. Now, in yesterday's case, I don't think the person that everybody's talking about there, I don't think there's any chance he'll ever change his mind. He pretty much likes what he does and has a real good time doing it, and nothing is going to stop him. All the negative press feeds him like a fire, like gasoline on a fire. He just loves it. Free advertisement is what he calls it. So that's all the more reason for me not to do it, though. I don't know. Anyway, here's what I want to say with this rambling video. My health is good. My life is good. My dog is good. My job is good. I'm really enjoying the holiday season. Had a great Friendsgiving with all of my friends over on Saturday. Been playing D&D. Been opening D&D minis on Twitch stream and loving every second of it. My Twitch streams have been longer and more fun. I haven't been playing a lot of games, a lot more unboxings, but you guys seem to really like that, and I love it. I love buying stuff, sometimes with the subscriber money, and then unboxing it for you guys and sharing my passions with you. Love playing D&D, running my friends through Curse of Strahd right now, and heavily modified. I'm heavily modifying it, telling a lot of my own stories in Barovia, but and playing a bit of Magic still from time to time, doing my cube every Saturday night, and having a good time. And I hope that you're having a good time too. I really do. I really do. And even though what I choose to do here on YouTube, and I could choose the easy path, just nothing but Francis videos, screaming at the common enemy, making everybody feel good, knowing everybody's going to agree with me. I could easily do that. I choose instead the hard route. And it is hard. But thanks to you, the person watching this right now, you, specifically you, sitting on your couch or watching this on your phone, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, taking the time to watch this, because of you, it's very rewarding. So, guys, thanks for watching. I love you very much. I'll speak with you again soon. Thank you for being a friend.